Hi everyone, thanks for checking out the LAAGCast. It is January 13th, 2019. We've been on a little bit of a break, but we're here for you with a great show. As always with me, I'm Max Williams, is my co-host Sam Richard. How are you, Sam?
I'm doing well.
How you been?
Good to be here.
Good, yeah.
Doing good.
Excellent.
Doing well.
So, where should we start? I know we watched it a couple of weeks ago, but I think that it'd be cool to talk a little bit about Ant Man and the Wasp, which we finally watched.
Yes, Ant Man and the Wasp. A little bit behind on that one. It did come out last year, probably, I think.
A couple months ago, earlier. Yeah, I mean last year, but we are brand new into this year. So.
Right. But we finally saw it, and I thought it was pretty watchable. Another Paul Rudd movie.
I was surprised how much I liked it, honestly.
That's good.
A lot of any downside to the first one is kind of tied to Marvel origin movie-itis, where, the character fights a dark mirror of themselves and kind of has all the same sequences of kind of hilariously learning their powers. And this one, they really wrote a plot.
Yeah. They skipped past a lot of that kind of thing.
Yeah, Evangeline Lilly, she's the Wasp, and she's already good out of it. We don't need a bunch of her getting used to it.
Right, she's already good, even better than Paul Rudd.
Yeah, they make a big deal about that.
Yeah.
She's not better at him than at magic though. When he's barfing playing cards out into his hand.
Right. Yeah, that was great.
That's good stuff.
That is good stuff.
Lots of villains.
Yeah, there were a lot of villains. There was the phasing villain.
Right, Ghost,
yeah. And you'll have to remind me who the other ones were.
Well, we had Walton Goggins' group of, random thug guys.
Oh, right, the incompetent gangsters.
Yeah, and that was cool to see, because Michael Pena and Walton Goggins were both on The Shield way back in the day.
Oh, cool.
And, lots of good Michael Pena and the whole crew of security guys that Scott's buddies with. They're kind of the highlight comedy-wise.
Michael Pena.
They really squeezed in another one of those and narrating things happening as other people speak with his voice sequences, didn't they?
Yeah. Well, I've been hoping for him recapping the entire Marvel universe. That would be great if they put that before Infinity War 2. Here's everything that's happened up to now.
Yeah, that would be just even as, a separate YouTube video thing. That they put together would be a fantastic piece.
It's so funny.
Considering how key Ant-Man is probably going to be to the whole thing of Endgame.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I think it would behoove them to do that. I mean, how much could it possibly be? They've done plenty of weird little viral videos with their guys in full costume.
Yeah, that's true.
Did you ever see any of those videos before Ragnarok came out where it was just Thor living in an apartment with a regular dude?
Yeah, I saw one of those.
Yeah, see, stuff like that. He's obviously able to get into full costume for little bouts of fun like that. But do it, Marvel.
Yeah. Ever see that meme of Spider-Man in the bathroom and he's dancing around and Thor's hammer is on the toilet seat?
No, but you described it very vividly.
Yeah, well, it stuck with me because of it.
Let's see, what else? I like that the MacGuffin for the movie was a whole lab that was shrunk down into a rolling briefcase that everyone wanted.
Right, everybody wanted that lab.
Yeah. It was cool to get Lawrence Fishburne as Goliath, even if they did use him as a villainous character. But, hinting that he used to be a size-changing guy. Also, remember when he and Scott are nerding out? It was how big did you get? How got to 23 feet.
Right.
It's 60 feet. It's man, that's so cool.
Yeah, I was asleep for a week.
Yeah, we really need to get that, flashback movie. That's, the original Ant-Man and the Wasp. And, young Bill Foster as Goliath back before he turned evil against jerk. What's his name? Martin Sheen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it was, I liked when they finally went into the quantum realm and we got another sequence of cool, trippy quantum realm visuals.
Yeah, I liked that they, stayed in there for a while and did stuff.
Yeah, it's weird that now you can just, get out and walk around on a piece of thing that's in there.
Yeah. Yeah, the quantum realm, it doesn't make a lot of sense. You should not be able to travel anywhere in comparison to the real world when you're in the quantum realm.
Well, that's why they needed generalized coordinates of where to shrink down in order to start looking.
Yeah, that's true.
What I didn't like is how this movie took away the restriction that Ant Man and has the whole side changing thing has been established to be in Marvel movies, which is that you have to have your helmet on and sealed when your size is changed.
Yeah, that was bothersome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, you know why they did it? They did it so that you could do that school sequence where he's half height.
Right. The little kid running around in a hoodie.
Yeah,
yeah. They did it for the comedic beats, and also so that you could have more screen time of the character's actual face.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it bothered me most when it was Hank Pym shrunk down in his weird little suit that he had to be in for size changing. Yeah. Yeah, his suit that looks like a guardsman suit from old Venom comics.
Yeah, that bothered me too.
Yeah, but honestly, that's nitpicky.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I think this was the first Marvel movie I didn't go and see in theaters, like actual Marvel Studios Marvel movie. And I kind of wish I had. It would have been cool to see some of those Quantum Realm bits on the big screen.
Yeah, that's true.
And you want to support the more oddball little movies they make to encourage them to continue to make a variety of different films rather than just keep making super epic Avengers shit.
That is true. Can only go so much into epic, for so long. I really have to pull it back.
I really hope they dial it back after Thanos. I don't want them to tease Galactus or something at the end of Endgame. I want it to be Doctor Doom is going to show up and do some stuff that's not super galaxy threatening, but is going to be bad for Earth.
Right, exactly. Pull it back, let everybody split up, and bring it a little bit closer to realism for a little while until you have to start pushing the gas again.
Winter Soldier it. After Avengers, kind of the next big one was Winter Soldier, and that was a big, dial back in scope and stakes. It was still very, epic, in what was happening, but compared to, the Avengers New York is being attacked, it was definitely more of a focused, dialed down experience.
Agreed.
Yeah. Yeah, so, Ant Man and the Wasp.
Ant Man and the Wasp. Pretty good movie.
All right, so let's move on to doing our list of ranking Final Fantasy characters. As you know, if you've been listening, we like to take a list of characters from Final Fantasy, and we're putting them on a master list from best to worst, in our opinion. And we got a fun list put together today. We decided to go big names this time. So, first guy I want to talk about is Squall Lionheart from Final Fantasy VIII, the original emo boy.
Yeah, black and a lot of belts.
A lot of buckles.
Himself a sword that's also a gun.
Right, he's got the... until Tidus, it was the most, Japanese rock star haircut.
Yeah?
Yeah, he definitely looked right out of, essentially a Korean boy band.
Yeah, and then he's got that big ugly scar to top it all off.
Oh, ugly scar. That's such a photogenic scar. It's so perfect and clean and on an exact diagonal.
That's true. It's not, scraggly at all.
Yeah.
Scraggly is not really the word, but, jagged.
Yeah. It doesn't look like an injury. It looks like he's Harry Potter or something.
Okay, fine. I retract what I said about being a big ugly scar. I meant that big, beautiful scar that really just pulls everything together.
Right. Design-wise, it might as well just be another thick shard of hair drooping between his eyes.
That's true.
But is the gunblade the coolest weapon in Final Fantasy?
Yeah, probably.
It probably is, right? I mean, look at that thing.
Yeah.
It's the thing. It's got that lion head chain on the end of it, and
the fact that it's on a angled pistol grip with the sword on, and that's just great.
They work it into the gameplay. You pull the trigger at the right moment on the gamepad, and you're doing extra damage because you're pulling that trigger on the sword.
Yeah.
Who knows what that's actually doing?
Even more engaged.
Yeah, I remember we used to debate what was actually happening in the game when you pull that trigger. Is it you need bullets for it, right? Bullets go into, at least when you make some of the gun blades. I know you use bullets as material for construction. So, is it firing a slug directly into the blade, which is causing it to vibrate, and create, a basic vibroblade?
Maybe it's just, explosive powder.
Is it just shaking the whole thing with a big boom?
Right, and fire in your face.
Exactly.
An explosion of fire comes from the barrel and flies down the blade.
Very few weapons inspire that fire right down like the piping on the blade where you would have blood channels on the blade, so it's shooting actual physical force through it.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Squall Lionheart does have the same problem that all the main characters of Final Fantasy VIII have, which is that their story is bonkers.
Oh yeah. They've all forgotten so much.
How much were they junctioning? It's starting to get real deep into the terminology here. But how long was Squall junctioning Guardian forces before the start of the game, which indicates that Squall's going to get his first Guardian force? Are they just loaning students Guardian forces for training all the time?
Well, I mean, they probably give them to you because you never have to give back Quetzalcoatl, and you start with Quetzalcoatl. So that's his, but Ifrit is the first one that he goes and gets for himself.
Right, I forgot.
So I'm guessing that when he was a first or second year seed or student, prospective seed, they gave him Quetzalcoatl.
And Shiva was Quistis's?
Yes.
Interesting. So, where does Squall go on the list? I think the first question is whether or not he's better than Cypher from the same game. His color swap opposite.
Right.
His dark shadow.
That's interesting. Is he more interesting than Cypher, who, he views himself as the hero as much as anybody, and Squall most of the time is just like, why do I gotta do this shit?
Right, exactly. What is this? Why has it gotta be me? I want to be a depressed teenager.
Yeah, I don't want to be the leader. Why are you making me the leader? Why is this my call? All the time, that's what he's always asking. It's, why is this my call?
Well, it sounds like we've decided that he's not as good as Cypher. Next on the list is Zidane. His follow-up character in the very next one. The back to basics, almost the reflection of Squall. I would say the reaction, but the games were developed at the same time, so...
Right.
Yeah.
Just, kind of made in opposite ways.
Yeah. Visual opposites, one's tall, one's short. Zidane is very tan, whereas Squall is all black and white.
Yeah. And Zidane is all peppy and views himself as
speaking of viewing yourself as a
noble
hero.
thief.
Yeah.
Whereas Squall, he doesn't put in for any of that. He just wants to be, himself and be left alone. You
get the feeling Zidane would actually get along more with Cypher in a way. Like they have that appreciation for storybook, like swashbuckling.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Alright, well, next down on the list is Sid Highwind from Final Fantasy VII. I think Squall's better than Sid.
Yeah, well, that's fair. Sid is more of a side character. It was just from the beginning a bit of a sad story. And, he's mean to his wife. And
that's true. I do think that their styles are roughly equivalent in coolness, honestly. Like, Sid is more traditional in his styling, but...
yeah.
They both look like...
not Farmer.
Yeah, they both look like they're from a slightly more sci-fi version of an Indiana Jones story.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I can see that. And I agree.
Alright, let's put Squall in at number 12. Squall Lionheart.
I found out when I was watching the most recent Awesome Games Done Quick event that Princess Garnet from Final Fantasy IX's her first name is Sarah, and I didn't know that.
Weird.
Right?
That definitely never comes up in the game.
Oh, I don't think so.
3 names. Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see why they removed that for confusion's sake. Alright, next, let's move on to the main character of Final Fantasy X, Tidus. He never gets a last name, right?
No, I don't think he does.
Yeah, no. Jack can... Oh, Jacked? Does Jacked have a... No, he doesn't have a last name either.
It's just Sir Jacked.
Yeah, right, Sir Jacked. That's funny. Spoilers. Tidus. He is... I mean, it's for us, playing Final Fantasy, starting with 7, he was kind of the first straight-up annoying main character, in a way.
Well, it's like the first time that you have a main character who doesn't know what's going on.
Right.
Like, one of the points they make at the beginning of Final Fantasy VII that made it so cool is that you started as playing Cloud, but all the other characters were coming to you asking you how to do stuff, and Cloud was giving them the tutorials.
Right. It seemed like you were the expert, and everybody else is just working for you.
Right. So you get the total opposite with Tidus. You're just playing catch-up with him the whole time.
Now,
or at least for a while.
Tidus has the interesting distinction of all of the other characters of being not a real person. The twist in that game being that Tidus is essentially a dreamed ghost person.
Yes, he is.
And ignoring some of the weird plot changes that happened in the succeeding spin-off games that have dubious levels of canon authenticity, he just fades away at the end because he's just a dream ghost person.
Yeah, it's kind of a bummer.
Right, may or may not have ever really existed in some form. We don't and can't know.
Yeah, no. It's definitely weird.
He is 100%, though, the most famous Final Fantasy character in the world of memes.
Is that true?
Oh, that Tidus laugh is that's all over the place today and has ensured his place in popular culture history.
Oh, man.
That laugh.
Yeah, well, being the first fully voice acted, well, I shouldn't say fully. I don't think it was fully, but... voice acted.
Yeah, first heavily voice acted at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Tidus, he's okay. He's okay.
He's okay.
I don't know if he's better than Prompto, though, who is sort of a similar character personality-wise.
Yeah, I don't think he is better than Prompto. Even if Prompto is also annoying much of the time, and he's always singing, which is a problem. But... Tidus is kind of dumb.
Yeah, they even have similar voice acting. What about Steiner, though? You like Steiner more?
Yeah, I think so.
Let's going down a little bit. Riku at number 27 from the same game. Is Riku better or worse than Tidus?
I think Tidus is better than Riku, probably, yeah.
Well, what about Princess Garnet, who we were just talking about?
Yeah, Tidus is better than Garnet.
Oh, okay, well then that's the spot, because right above Garnet is Steiner, so we're going to Tidus, the dream fake person.
Yeah, alright.
Okay, next up, let's talk about Noctis from Final Fantasy 15.
Noctis von Lucas III or something.
Yeah, I don't remember any of those names anymore. I could have told you. At one time, 6 months ago.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Noctis, he's another kind of a emo prince.
Yeah, he's definitely from the Squall school, but he's just lived with the pressure of being that person for his entire life, rather than being thrust into it recently.
Yeah. I do like that because of that, he seems to enjoy the little things, being able to slow down, go fishing.
Right.
Have a nice meal.
Yeah, it's interesting that fishing is the one thing that's like his specialty. That's one that they don't often give them. Like the main character is usually the one who is fishing in any given video game, but very seldom are they the fishing expert in any given video game.
That's true.
One interesting thing about Noctis is because of the nature of that game, he doesn't have as strong of a signature weapon, in my opinion. I know he has that sword that's like his special sword, but the fact that you spend so much of the game basically using whatever.
Yeah.
And I often wasn't having him use the sword.
I never had him use the sword. I didn't use any of those kingly weapons.
Right. It was very sort of cognitive dissonance when you would always see him using that in any given cutscene, but then you're like, yeah, but I'm a dagger man when I'm actually fighting.
I'd say that his true weapon is teleportation.
Right, it's the ring.
Oh, yeah, in the ring.
Yeah.
At the end.
Yeah, because isn't the teleportation, isn't that a factor of the ring?
No, I think that's in his genes.
Oh, weird. Yeah.
It's because he has the king's blood that he's able to teleport and shit.
So weird. The question I want to ask you is if he's a better or worse character than Prompto.
I think he's worse than Prompto.
Interesting. What about Tidus, we just talked about?
That's tough.
I gotta say, I do think that he's a little bit better than Tidus and a little bit worse than Steiner. So he goes right up above Tidus in the same spot that we just did.
Okay, yeah, I agree with that.
I think he is a better character than Garnet for sure. They have some similarities in a way.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
That's true.
But yeah, nowhere close to Ignis. Way up on the list. So last, we're going to throw a little bit of a curveball. We're going to talk about Chrono from unofficial Final Fantasy game Chrono Trigger for the SNES. Designed by Dragon Ball's own Akira Toriyama.
Yeah.
One of the finest visual character designs and one of the best non-speaking protagonists in video game history.
Yeah, that's true.
Because he never talks, right?
No, I don't think he does.
Yeah, we only get people talking to him.
Yeah, no, that's true.
And it's great that his name is Chrono with no H, because you could only have 5-letter names.
True.
Yeah, I mean, that's the rub, because he is the main character of perhaps the greatest Final Fantasy game ever made.
Yeah.
But he never speaks.
Never speaks, but he's an excellent swordsman. He has the same face as Goku.
He has the same hair as Goku.
He has the same hair as Goku. That's true.
He's
a red-headed Goku.
Right, he looks like a Super Saiyan level 4 or whatever Goku, essentially.
Yeah, he does. It's such great visual design.
It's great visual design. I know, like, later in the game, you can choose not to have him in your party, right?
I believe so, yeah.
But you always want him in your party.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think any other team of 3 gets a triple tech.
Yeah, you're right. Chrono has to be involved, I believe, you're right, in all of the triple techs.
Yeah.
And all of his attacks with other people are the coolest.
Yeah, he's got the best attacks.
Yeah.
I'm actually playing that game right now.
Oh, excellent. No wonder you're so receptive to the idea of throwing him in there.
Well, yeah. You know, you can definitely say it's the greatest unofficial Final Fantasy game ever. But you know what makes it super great? No random battles.
Yes. I mean, they pulled that off so many years before any other JRPG even toyed with the idea. Like, Pokemon's only doing that now.
Oh, man. Yeah, exactly. And random battles, yeah, they give anxiety.
Yeah, random battles are the worst, like, trope of the JRPG by far. I think everyone will agree with that. Yeah. That and long-winded scenes where nothing happens but dialogue. But
yeah, that too. But back to Chrono. I think Chrono is great.
The question is Chrono better than Cloud?
No.
But I do think Chrono is definitely better than Edgar from Final Fantasy VI.
Okay. Yeah, who's above Edgar?
Above Edgar, in the 5th position, is Auron from Final Fantasy X.
Oh, man. Yeah. I guess we could put him random. Who's below Edgar?
Below Edgar is Vivi from Final Fantasy IX.
Yeah. I guess I'm comfortable putting in between Edgar and Auron.
Below Auron?
Yeah, below Auron.
Auron is interestingly from the same school. Like, they're weirdly comparable characters in a way. Like, visually, the sword thing. So number 6, cracking the top 10, knocking Cypher out of the top 10 to number 11.
Chrono.
We have Chrono from Chrono Trigger.
Chrono Trigger.
With that, I think we should take a short break.
All right. Sounds good.
We'll be right back. And welcome back. We have quite a backlog of comics to get through. We went 3 weeks without recording an episode, so yeah, it's going to build up. So we did have to edit down the list to make it a little more manageable, but I think we've got the most interesting conversation pieces here.
Agreed.
All right, so the first one I'm going to talk about is Tom Scioli's second issue of GoBots. There was a lot of plot in this issue. We're really getting a lot of things happening very quickly.
Yeah.
The robot revolution has begun. Right on page 2, I love Big Pharma. But GoBots are rising up everywhere. We've got random cars chomping on people using their hoods. And it's mayhem in the streets. And there's a few GoBots that are continuing to defend their human partners, albeit a bit grudgingly, I would say. The scooter seems to be kind of on the fence. He's like, man, you still treat me like a piece of technology. Like you get the feeling that he could go either way.
That's true.
Leader 1, the big military jet guy, though, is pretty badass.
True.
He is able to dispatch several of the evil GoBots himself.
Yeah.
I mean, in general...
GoBot fighting is violent.
We have the reproduction of the classic Wolverine page where supposedly Wolverine had been finished off and dumped into the sewers, and then on the last page you see him crawling out of the sewers and says, "All right, you had your go. Now it's my turn." And that's exactly what's happening here. So we've got our fun classic comics references.
Homage.
So it's continuing to be some pretty... I mean, it feels like at this point the revolution is over by the end of this issue. Like, the GoBots have won. It happened, and now Leader One is going to have to decide, like, well, it's a new world now, and you're the tough one. You won in combat, so what's it going to be? And based on the cover of the next issue, welcome to Gobotron. Seems like this may get real crazy real fast.
Yeah.
I was wondering if the GoBot Uprising was going to be the whole point of this book. And nope.
No.
It was the point of the first 2 issues.
Yeah.
And now we're already into the wild unknown. So I'd give GoBots 2 a 7. Pretty entertaining, excellent art. I had a good time reading it.
I'd give it a 7 as well. Plenty of good plot. It's high octane, fast paced, and plenty of violence.
No pun intended. High octane.
No, definitely pun intended.
All right.
All right. Next? So after that, we got the newest Action Comics, Part 6, The Invisible Mafia, by Michael Bendis and Ryan Sick.
Did you notice the call out to Martian Manhunter?
I did notice the call out to Martian Manhunter. That was weird because we saw that in a flashback dream sequence. It has no business being on this television. Computer screen.
Yeah, what's up with the Daily Planet here? How are they getting these pictures? That's creepy.
It's creepy.
Yeah. They either got images from there or they have some sort of bead into John's mind and are like getting things that he's remembering.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe we're getting just a little hint that they're tapped into the Justice League's telepathic link.
Right, exactly. Lois Lane has a backdoor and has been pulling stories out of the Justice League's telepathic link. Doesn't that sound just stupid enough to actually be what's happening? Remember how weird John was acting?
She's so ashamed that she can't even live with Clark.
Right, we had that one issue, like it was the first issue, I think, where John showed up and was like, "Hey, Superman, why don't you take over the world?"
Right, he was acting all evil.
Yeah, just to hint at us that something weird's going on. Anyway, on to this issue rather than wild speculation.
Right. I thought that was pretty good wild speculation. Probably not what's going to happen at all.
Unlikely.
In this issue, though, it was, people setting fires all over the city. So Clark goes up to the mayor to try and confront him about a leak that said that the mayor told the fire department to call off its investigation.
Right.
And so after denying it, the mayor goes away and Clark listens in because he's Superman and can hear him in the cars, so no problem. He didn't get much good information, but,
Can you believe that we are, I want to say this has got to be like 14 total issues of Bendis Superman, and we are still getting the fires plot. The random fires in Metropolis plot.
I don't even think we're done with the Rogol Zar plot.
We're definitely not done with the Rogol Zar plot, but at least that's like, okay, here's a big epic plot with a big villain that Superman's going to fight. This is like fires?
Yeah, okay. No, fires in the city, and we know it's being done by this mafia that thinks that it runs the city right under Superman's nose and has been doing it for years.
Which, okay.
Right.
Also,
unlikely.
This Jimmy subplot, this 3-page Jimmy subplot, did you notice this?
Clark's got no time for Jimmy, and Jimmy is frustrated.
Then Jimmy is talking about how it was a mistake for him to sleep with Talia al Ghul.
Oh, yeah.
And he throws up the post-it notes that all say, call Miss Al Ghul, 10:15, call Talia, 9:15. Like, interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. I wondered if that had some backstory that I didn't know about.
It does not.
Okay.
It is only Bendis thought it would be funny.
Huh. Yeah, weird.
Yeah. Well drawn, though. Well drawn.
Oh, yeah, but we have Superman looking through the floor while he's at the Daily Planet.
Yep.
And all these little symbols. I wasn't able to decipher what the symbols were talking about. Because, like, one's Batman and one's a video game controller.
One's the stock market level. One looks like Captain Marvel's lightning bolts.
Yeah.
A bloody knife.
A bloody knife.
Yeah, you're right.
A loading thing.
Right, somebody's computer is resetting. You're right. I'd like totally skimmed over this page and didn't even try to puzzle out what was happening. But the more you look at this, the less sense it makes.
Yeah, exactly. It's a little weird. But moving on, the rest of the issue is because of the leak. The mayor puts out a hit,
right,
for the Red Cloud on.
Red Cloud. I was gonna say Red Mist, right? It's Red Cloud.
Yeah, Red Cloud. Yeah. Oh man. On the new fire chief, the redhead.
Right, the one the mayor told to stop investigating.
The one that the mayor told to stop investigating. And Superman comes in and is able to stop the Red Cloud by using his super breath.
Yep. Super breath. I mean, that's funny. That it's almost like Bendis designed a villain specifically to have Superman be able to defeat them with super breath.
Yeah, though it seems to more be a stalemate.
It's true, yeah. He can't really do much to her when she's a cloud other than kind of like push parts of her in various directions.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what happened. Is he trying his freezing breath and it's not working, or is he not trying that? It's unclear from the art.
It's unclear from the art.
Which otherwise looks spectacular. I love the 2-page spread of Superman trying to fight the cloud.
Yeah. He's in the cloud. He's using eye-beams on the cloud. That's never going to work. But blowing the cloud. Blowing at the cloud.
Works a little.
Works. It kind of works. So the Red Cloud has to leave, and then we find out a little bit about that invisible mafia.
Yeah, we meet the boss lady supposedly. But wait, I want to know what you thought of this last page reveal and how the feelings that it stirred within you. You turned to this page and you're like, oh, right? That's obviously what the art was telling you, like, to notice.
No, I don't know what's up with the car.
Come on, that's the car that Superman is crushing over a guy's head on the cover of the very first ever Superman story in Action Comics #1. You know that cover where he's like...
that he's... Right, the one that is kind of tossing, kind of smashing down.
He looks like he's scaring a guy by smashing the car very close to the man.
Yeah.
And like other people are running away in fear.
Right. Nah, I didn't realize.
Yeah, that's because it's really stupid. So this bit, it's one of those twists that if it doesn't turn out to be really smart, it's so stupid.
Yeah, that's why it's pointless if it's not really smart.
Yeah.
So, I give this issue of Action Comics a 5. Yes, a 5.
Wow, you're much higher than I am. I'm giving
it's right down the middle.
I'm giving it a 3 based only on the art. The writing in this one really made me mad. We're not going anywhere I like. What are we even doing here?
Yeah, that's true.
The Rogolzar stuff is not great, but it feels...
That's at least, yeah.
It feels like Superman comics.
Right, no, that's true.
It feels like stupid Superman comics, but it feels like Superman comics. This feels like weird Brian Michael Bendis comics that Superman is in.
Yeah, you're right. I am rating it too high.
No, you don't have to change your rating, but...
I don't feel comfortable giving it a 5. Because, yeah, none of the story is really compelling.
It's like, oh, the twist that this lady's the Red Mist. Oh, yeah, we all saw that one come in. Like, oh, the reveal that this lady's in charge of the Mafia. This doesn't mean anything to us. Like, we're supposed to be like, oh, this lady, she's scary. She's real scary.
Yeah.
It took us this long to meet her, and this is the twist, and the twist is that she has the car? What does that even mean?
Yeah.
Has the car.
I give it a 4.
Superman. Or that's Action Comics.
That's Action Comics, yeah.
By BMB. Alright, so let's dial back to the Christmas spirit, because next up we're going to talk about Grant Morrison, Dan Mora's Klaus, and The Crying Snowman. This is the third Klaus one-shot, and they've had one each year at Christmas since the original miniseries. This was your first time reading a Klaus comic.
Yeah, I didn't actually read much of this one. I kind of skimmed through it because after reading so many comics all in a row.
You skipped the Grant Morrison comic on my show.
I already read the Grant Morrison comic.
Well, they all have weirdly they've been loosely based on Christmas classics in one way or another. Like the original miniseries was the original like claymation Santa Claus is Coming to Town. The first spin-off one-shot, I believe, was it was basically Frozen. It was the Frozen Ice Princess story. And then the one before this last year was sort of a rough Santa Claus Conquers the Martians adaptation. This one appeared to be based on the late 90s American film Jack Frost, where Michael Keaton is a deadbeat dad who dies in a car accident and is reincarnated as a talking snowman.
Right. And then he melts.
Which, that's a weird thing already to adapt. But, so we start out with this snowman who's melting in the heat, and we learn through the narration that his cognition is tied to the temperature. So the hotter it is, the less he can think. And Klaus shows up. And he's sort of gray-haired, more gray-haired than we've ever seen him in any of these. And he greets the snowman and tries to remind him of some amazing thing that they did. And which he does, and we get this crazy story about... it's essentially... it's a post-Ragnarok story. We learn about how Ragnarok was a thing and happened, and a lot of these are gods that the various Santa Claus people from around the world, all the various versions of Santa Claus from the different cultures are represented by a different person in Klaus comics. So they knew some of the old Valhallans and stuff. We get this great 2-page spread of Ragnarok happening. There's Thor fighting the Midgard serpent. Fenrir. And I assume that this right here may be the evil dark elf and big fire demon Surtur here, I assume. So they crammed it all in. I'm guessing here we've probably got what's his name, the with the B, the main brother of Balder.
Oh, Balder, yeah.
Right, that looks like Odin, and I would assume this guy. I don't know. That's a dark elf. I was gonna say that's Loki, but that's a dark elf from somebody. But the twist here is that all of the bad villains, Surtur and them, are they're coming back. They're coming back to modern day Earth to fight and destroy the planet because they were previously fought off by the Asgardian gods that no longer exist. And Klaus and all of the holiday people have to go and stop it from happening. And one of the things they use is some flying bagpipes that are animated into like wasp things to fight with. It's great. Awesome. It's over the top. It's crazy action. There's a goat that turns into like a goat man in order to fight.
Cool.
It's and at the end they managed to do a time loop victory where they're able to go back in time and prevent any of the bad things from happening by going back just one day into the past. And the last thing that he tells the snowman as he trying to remind him was like, no, we went back in time 24 hours. We stopped the car crash that killed you. And then the snow melts away and reveals that he's alive and he can go be a father to his son again. And you get the nice Christmas spirit ending.
Wow.
So all of the Klaus comics are strong recommends for me. This one I would give a 9.
All right.
The art is just spectacular. Dan Mora with each issue has just come leaps and bounds, and like I believe he is coloring himself on these, and he just goes for it, man. Goes for it.
Well, I'll have to read all of them at some time.
They're all worth it. Quite good. Very Norse influenced even before the full-on Ragnarok of this one.
Cool.
All right.
Next up, we have a new Web of Venom one shot, Venom Unleashed.
Yes, which has a double meaning.
Oh, does it have a double meaning?
Yeah, Unleashed in the general term, and also because the main character he's a dog. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's written by Ryan Stegman,
who usually draws it. Interestingly,
right? Yes, he does, and looks like it's penciled by Kyle Hotz and Juan Gedeon.
No, you know Kyle Hotz, because Kyle Hotz drew that old Carnage Mind Bomb one-shot where the Doctor tries to come. It's like a full-on horror comic where the Doctor shows up at Ravencroft to try to like treat Cletus, and they give him an injection of like pure vitamin C, which forces the symbiote into remission, and then Carnage like the dude sits in the cell with him and tries to treat him, but then Cletus manages to process out all the vitamin C, and then he like puts some of the symbiote into the guy, and we get this like horror thing as Carnage shows him the terrors. You know, remember this? It was terrifying.
That sounds terrifying.
Yeah, I want to dig it out. I know we have it in one of the boxes somewhere.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah. Wait, let me. I'm gonna pull up the cover for you real quick. We're gonna go click clack right here.
Click clack.
Because I bet you're gonna remember the cover. It was one of the first like shiny chrome covers we had.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right, the shiny chrome. I remember that.
Yeah, this one.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah, super fucking super creepy.
No,
so yeah, it's cool to get him back on one of these.
Yeah, that is cool. This issue is while Eddie is sleeping, his doggy is going on a rampage, but there are these zombies. And they're going down the street. They're coming for Eddie.
Right,
they're like Brock, and yeah, the dog is just being a good old guard dog, going out on its own and taking them out.
Right. This dog appears to be like we keep hearing about how he can't really talk to Eddie anymore, but I would put the symbiote's intelligence level as like just about Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, no, just about.
You know, he's gonna follow his nose, and he's gonna get to the bottom of things, and he's gonna figure some things out. And he's gonna be intelligent enough to put two and two together on his own.
Yeah, no, it was good to see that the symbiote isn't completely lobotomized and just being controlled in dog form as Eddie. No, it's actually more of an intelligent hellhound now. Very nice to see.
I'm almost getting to the point where I wouldn't really mind the symbiote not ever getting too much smarter, because fully talking symbiote with like high intelligence just being like another thing talking to Eddie is not my favorite thing they added to the Venom mythos. Like, I kind of prefer the classic version where we would sometimes hear Eddie talking to himself / the symbiote, but there was never like a caption box with the symbiote saying, blah, 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 Eddie.
That's true. Not talking in his brain, but communicating with emotion.
Right, exactly. Mm-hmm. And he would be like, no, we can't do that.
Yeah. So, while this hellhound of a symbiote that is Venom now goes out, it finds these two guys in a mining...
You recognize this from Lethal Protector, right? Remember?
I recognize these suits.
Yeah.
These mining power armor suits. These guys got these power armor suits right out of Lethal Protector.
Yeah.
But they're just two regular guys, I guess.
Like, I think that big reveal in this is showing us that we're getting that whole underground San Francisco thing that was such a mainstay of classic Venom comics. Like, this is it, man. We're seeing it. These are the people that live there. I'm wondering if that lady is going to come back. The lady who was like the girl who was the main leader of that crew. You know, she always had like the blue hair and the main San Franciscan lady.
Right.
I cannot remember her name.
Nor can I. It was way too long ago that I read those. But, it was a lot of fun to have them there, and the zombies were there at the same time, but, the symbiote comes and helps them out.
Man, he's good, he knows how to get them.
Yeah, and then the dog worms its tongue in through a guy's nose into his brain and extracts a little bit of carnage that has been put in there to make these guys into zombies.
Little carnage worm.
Which puts him back to normal. And the guys figure out that the sonic waves that they were using were also doing that. So they started doing that. And the Venom symbiote got a whole pile of little carnage worms.
He filled himself up after extracting them from all the people in the city, it looks like.
Yeah. Yeah, to barf them out. Oof. But, it seems like there's a big old underground hive of carnage That's
It's with the little spirally symbiote eye designs all over it too.
Yeah, the power of their god seems to be in them, and yeah, they're making zombies, which bad news for everybody.
I like his
really.
creation of that cover from Carnage Unleashed, where
That's
funny. It's from Carnage Unleashed, right? That's the name of that series, and this is Venom Unleashed.
Right, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we get little and there's a little bit with Eddie. He figures out what's going on because the dog comes and vomits up a bunch of little carnage worms for him to see. So he knows what's going down.
He knows carnage is coming.
Yeah, and then we get the end. But then after that, we get a little bit of seeing what Carnage has been up to as he's been putting these worms inside, and we get this great visual of Carnage running around some dude's brain and like biting in and oh man, to control him and
so gross.
Making a zombie so that he can free the world of life.
Yeah, this is it's a serious upgrade to Carnage's overall threat and power level.
Yeah, and he seems to be arguing with Noel
mentally.
Like for dominance, which oof.
Yeah, it's interesting. I wonder how we'll actually see Noel show up, if and when we do, and what the big showdown will be. I wonder if Cates will take it down the path of Carnage and Eddie having to team up in some way in order to finish off Noel, or if it'll be Noel and Eddie have to team up to finish off Carnage.
Right, exactly.
Like Noel will recognize, it's like, take some of my power, Eddie.
Right. We can only do this if we do it together because Carnage is becoming some kind of god of life and death.
Yeah. All right, so what would you give Venom Unleashed?
Give it an 8.
I think 8's right. Very entertaining. Good little side story.
Yeah, good little side story, exactly.
Yeah, this one, you never would have noticed that Johnny Cates wasn't writing it. It slots right into the series perfectly.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Okay. Next on the list. Batman number 62, Tom King and Mitch Gerrard's The Mr. Miracle team.
Mr. Miracle team.
This story, this art, this comic book is everything bad about Tom King and Mitch Gerrard's comics. There's very little action taking place. Batman is strung up by a pig in like a slaughterhouse bathroom, like Saw type situation.
Yep.
And there's a lot of blood everywhere. No dialogue. It's just Batman monologuing to himself and repeating things all the time.
Way too much.
Tom King, narration boxes.
Right. Trying to make it into poetry.
And he gets free and beats Pig.
He gets stabbed.
It's real rough.
Ugh.
Real gritty, real gross.
Yeah, lots of little pig, let me come in.
And then it's all just a dream because Pig pulls off his mask and it's Damien, but the whole body changes.
The whole body
it's not just a mask pulling off. And
no, it's some magic.
And, Tom King thinks we're idiots, so he puts a dream right on the page at the end there. And he's like, yeah, we fucking know, Tom.
Why was I here then?
The cliffhanger, I believe, from the previous issue was like Batman returns to the Batcave and Alfred has been beaten up and the red-eyed other Batman is there.
Yeah.
Nightmare, issue 1, cliffhanger, this is issue 2, weird cliffhanger. He's doing, I think I read that it's going to be 8 parts of this with all different artists and different things. It's so everything bad about Tom King comics. Just this dude needs an editor. He's been overpraised too early in his career. He did some really cool things, and now he's gotten in his head that he can just do whatever the hell he wants with whoever he wants.
Right. Make it all a dream and still have it be good.
And Mitch Gerrard's makes some of it look pretty cool. Kind of.
It's very pink.
The art
and orange.
The art suits the story. He definitely illustrated it the way that it should have looked.
Yeah.
But it's just, who likes this? Who's going to be like, can't wait to read Batman 62 again. That was a good comic. 1 out of 10.
1 out of 10. Okay, I'll give it a 2.
All right. So, moving on.
Moving on. Immortal Hulk. Issue 11.
Hulk. Immortal Hulk.
Immortal Hulk.
Here we go. We're in hell.
Yeah. Well, we're in hell. Yeah, that's what this is all about.
Hulk's looking weird.
Hulk is still a deflated Frankenstein monster.
Like the loose skin aspect is very unsettling. Like he's got like a turkey waddle on his neck some of the time.
Yeah, he's gross.
He's gross, and he's just talking to this lady who visually you could swap this lady with the red cloud from Action, and they're like
they're the same.
The way they talk, even I don't just mean visually. I mean the way everything.
Is she also a reporter?
She is also a reporter.
Yeah. So Hulk's giving her a pep talk
/lecture
about now we're in hell. Everything's bad in hell. You're gonna run into people you knew, but they're gonna be mindless zombies, and that's what happens.
Now, what did you think though of her little speech to him about how, since the Hulk is like a white college-educated man, he's allowed to get mad and accidentally hurt some people and then be on the Avengers in the week, but she, as a black woman, isn't allowed to get mad, and she just wants to be able to get mad. Did you love that as much as I did?
I mean,
it was. I did like the way Hulk was just like, haha, I like that you like mad. But
right. I mean, get mad. Be all mad as you want. Yeah.
Anyway, I just had to get that out there because I didn't love that. But
yeah, I know.
Time remains to be seen if that is just a thing of that character, because people do definitely talk that way, and characters could say that, or is it the author trying to work something meaningful in?
Yeah, I hope not. I mean, there's just so much of that now.
Yes, so it's suspect.
Yeah, it's suspect. But yeah, so the absorbing man,
Puck,
runs into Puck. And they team up, probably for nefarious reasons.
Well, Puck's a good guy. He's an Alpha Flight.
That's true.
Yeah.
He is an Alpha Flight.
Yeah, he's much more trustworthy than Walter LAAGCast or whoever else is around.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Puck seems alright.
Yeah, Puck's a cool guy.
They're doing their own thing. And there's the zombies. And how does this issue go?
Well, Hulk runs into Red Hulk.
Red Hulk.
Right.
And Red Hulk is monstrous.
And, yeah, he's like, at first I was like, oh, is this how he's looking? But I think this is just the transformation.
Right, as he rips out of the skins of the general.
Thunderbolt Ross.
Yeah. So they do some fighting. It's a good fight.
Hulk rips him apart.
Hulk does rip him apart.
He's mad. He wants to kill everything.
Yeah, he seems mad, like he wants to kill everything.
And then the twist.
The twist. What is the twist?
The twist is that it appears that Banner is extracted from Hulk at the moment and is being kept in like an energy column by whatever being is appropriating the image of his father. Separately, like Hulk appears to have no banner at the moment.
That's what's going on.
Yeah.
Hulk has no banner.
Yeah, it's just weird because he goes full Tom King for the last 2 pages, and we're reading this like poem thing about how hell has not one lord but two.
Right. Yeah, I thought it was a pretty good issue. I'd give it probably a 7, maybe a 6. Yeah, a 6.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna give it a 6 too. The art is still spectacular.
Oh yeah, and it's wonderfully creepy.
Yeah, I like the coloring, how red everything looks in hell.
Yeah,
you never really get a break from it.
Nah. I'm totally cool with them continuing to do what they're doing.
Yes, I'm still on board, despite a few hiccups. All right, next, for expediency's sake, we're going to combine 2 into 1 and do the last 2 issues of Batman, Kings of Fear.
Yes.
These are the last 2 issues, so this miniseries is complete now. Drawn by Kelly Jones, written by Scott Peterson. So the issue 5 was the one where we get the whole what Gotham would look like if Batman had never come along, and we get our fun little depictions of all the villains. And oh man, nice double page spread there,
Yeah.
Jones. You see how Mr. Freeze would have devoted his life to good, and how Bane would have just like died early on in his career, and Poison Ivy would have done amazing things for the world of botany,
Right.
and the Joker would have been a brilliant criminal profiler for the FBI, and they go down the list. Harvey Dent, who still for some reason has an eye patch, but is still like a good guy, district attorney.
Penguin, still a criminal.
Still a criminal. That was a pretty funny bit.
Yeah, I like that.
But yeah, this was the old. It was It's a Wonderful Life. Essentially, it was the. What would people be if you weren't around? And so it was fine. And you get that great final page full page. What did you do to me, Batman? Right in your face. Good Kelly Jones art.
Yeah, well, he's kind of looking like he's becoming a cross between Batman and Scarecrow.
Yeah, he's looking hard. That's a scary look. You don't want that in your face.
Yeah, nah.
And then on to the 6th issue, which is weirdly sort of it's like a weirdly long roll down of the action, because like the very early in the issue, the plot is over for all intents and purposes. Scarecrow is beaten in the first few pages. Batman reveals that the captive, the hostage that he was going after, was in fact working with the Scarecrow to put on this whole charade.
Yep.
And then it's like a one issue, like Batman having a conversations with a few people and being reminded, like, oh no, actually, you should be Batman because here's all the good things you did. First he gets it from Gordon, like, I'd be dead if it wasn't for you.
Yep.
And then he heads back to... Oh no, he talks to this lady, right? I think she was in the first issue. She was the one who was like, why are you doing what you do? Don't you think you're part of the whole sequence? But then she reveals like that she actually has a personal reason why it's very important that Batman is around, because people who are stopped by the Batman tend not to go back to being criminals.
Right.
Like there's the few strong exceptions of like main Arkham Asylum villains.
Right.
But for the vast majority of like random thugs that he stops don't go back to being thugs.
Yeah. Makes sense.
And then last but not least, he hits up the Batcave, and Alfred gives him the tried and true, I hate Batman, but I love Bruce Wayne thing. And without Batman, there would be no Bruce Wayne. And he gets the call, because it never ends. Now there's been an escape at Blackgate. So 2 in one night. And it's rough, but it's well drawn. So I would give Batman Kings of Fear a straight 5.
A straight 5? I'd give it a 6.
Fair enough.
Yeah, mostly for that art.
The art,
goddamn, the whole time.
Yeah,
that Batman
looks fantastic. I love the hunching, the overbearing, real over the top.
Yeah, with the super pointy ears.
Yeah, this guy, that's a Batman out to scare.
Yeah, gargoyle Batman.
Yeah, you're not going back to random thuggery if that's the Batman that stops you.
Exactly.
All right.
So, next up we got issue 4 of Murder Falcon by Daniel Warren Johnson and Mike Spicer. And so in this issue, they got the whole band together and
ready to
go. They're going out. Jake removes his wedding ring in a flashback at the beginning, I believe.
Yeah.
I believe it's a flashback. It might just be like a day ago.
Yeah, I think that's right before this.
Yeah, but they're driving in their van, and there's one of the big old things, one of those big old death things.
It's the one that we had seen not doing anything, sitting in the middle of the lake, right?
Yeah.
It's like now started to move, and so now they got to go deal with it, and it's pretty good at taking out all of the regular Avatar monsters, like Murder Falcon gets chomped down, Sea Monster shows up, but is hardly effective.
Yeah, Mammoth gets just smashed.
Yeah, Mammoth gets punked. He does not come back for this issue, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, no. But yeah, and creepy eye alien. He's grabbing energy from humans and stealing their energy to come into this world.
Right, and he's directly controlling this monster. We see him sitting in that little chair with his little joystick set up. Where, right here.
Oh, yeah.
I got my eye I'm looking at. That's letting me control my eye monsters.
Yep. He's controlling this one. He beats them all pretty handily.
Destroys Falcon's arm. Murph's arm.
Destroys Murph's arm, but Jake manages to not give up because I guess he's not a guy who gives up.
Well, that's questionable because
right.
all the flashbacks and things in this issue, sir, are making it look like he's the kind of guy who gives up.
Yeah, right. When you're gonna die and all that.
Yeah. So, but no, he believes now.
Yeah, he now believes, and but they're actually not saved by him.
Right.
They managed to do a little bit of good. Hold on, but they are saved by that guy from
who ran the shop.
Who ran the shop, who is their friend, and his cowbell, which summons a herd of awesome-looking cattle.
Yes, the cowbell. That's an instrument that anyone could play. He's the self-insert character.
Yeah. So once again, we just have a new band member coming in to save the day.
Yep, 4 issues, 4 band members saving the day.
Yeah.
Although it still isn't enough.
It's still not quite enough. So, but luckily, Murder Falcon gets an upgrade. He gets a new arm and some awesome metal wings.
Yes, some Vulcan cannons on the shoulders.
Right, with some cannons.
Which the best thing is the big old bag of ammo chains feeding out into the Vulcan cannons as he shreds.
He's loaded to bear.
Yes. The main guy is shredding the guitar while Murder Falcon shreds the opposition.
Yeah, and it's nice to see that they can get upgrades to their summons.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the heavily armored woolly mammoth and the flying version of the sea monster.
Yeah, exactly.
But the tear is open. And Jake kind of books it. Right, he's got something else to do now that he believes again.
Now that he believes again, and he goes to his ex-wife's house, who is alive.
Yes, big twist. Big twist.
Big twist.
That was shocking. I don't know how much more surprised than that I've been in a comic recently.
Yeah, that's true.
You really had us going. It really makes you want to go back and look at the earlier issues and look at the things that made us think that she was already dead and Yeah, you did a good job. You let us on.
That is true. That is quite the reveal.
Yeah. So,
I'd give Murder Falcon issue 4 a 6.
I give it a 7. Mostly for the 2-page spread of the winged Murder Falcon destroying the monster.
That was a nice moment.
I really enjoyed that. That was metal. So, last but not least, issue 3 of The Green Lantern by Grant Morrison and Liam Sharp.
The Green Lantern.
You got to start with the cover. It's God on the cover, and he's under arrest.
Hal Jordan standing up to God.
Grant Morrison, he said, this is just going to be, more of a police procedural. We're not doing one of those big epic storylines in this comic. By issue 3.
Has to say that.
By issue 3, we're arresting God. So it's very, very heavy metal, the thing we're seeing here. It's interesting that we're seeing another, Earth has disappeared plot line.
Right.
We talked about that.
Yeah, but shrunken and disappeared. Because it disappeared and then it was shrunk.
Right.
And now it's both.
Now it's both. This, I think, is a lot more interesting than the Brian Michael Bendis version, though. As we see Earth is being auctioned off to various different evil aliens, one of which is Steppenwolf from the New Gods. And if he's just one of the dudes who's hanging out here casting bids or not, things are at a real high level.
Yep.
Essentially, we see God, or this being called the Shepherd. He wins the auction by quite a margin. He definitely wants this planet.
Yeah, he pays so much.
And
so many credits.
Right, because I think it was up to 2,000 units.
It's
10,000.
Yeah.
They end it. The fact that he would have more money than Steppenwolf of Apocalypse is that's crazy. But here we are.
Yeah.
And so then, right as he wins it, we get this great, like, reverse image zoom out, because you can see him right there.
With all the little planets.
Yeah, the Green Lanterns are here. They're staking out this auction, and they're ready to go in. And they're gonna end this illegal operation, and Hal Jordan's single-handedly gonna take out the Earth. And man, the art in these sequences it's wonderful.
Yeah.
The colors, the page designs.
When you're facing green against purple, it always works.
It is a strong green versus purple, yeah, because the Dark Stars are around. And they don't love working for these slavers, so it's interesting, the whole thing with the Dark Stars and where that's going to go.
Yeah.
But then, Hal has this great conversation with the Shepherd, who's just like, oh, no, but don't worry, Earth, they love me. Like, go ask them. And he goes down and projects a little, like, face of himself down to Earth. Yeah. So he can talk to someone. He's like, yeah, well, now everybody has superpowers, so we're all kind of, like, cool with it.
Yeah.
And even after he reveals the true form of the Shepherd, which is, like, a horrific, disgusting alien.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, he's just going to fatten you up to eat you. And everyone's just like, eh.
Looks aren't everything.
Like that. Are you for real? Like, it's just wonderful. So Hal realizes that the Earth is obviously under the influence. Earth is drunk.
Right. Cannot be responsible for their own actions, and he's got to take charge. The
little wings on the big boxing glove he uses to punch out the Shepherd.
Out God. There it is.
And then he puts up his police tape around the Earth and is like, Earth, you are clearly intoxicated and no longer able to make your own decisions.
Yeah.
I'm placing all of you under arrest. Like, it's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Grant Morrison is really setting Hal Jordan up as the ultimate space cop.
Like, it's a very Judge Dredd approach to Hal Jordan when you think about it. Like, the way he's acting, you could totally see Dredd doing all the same things.
Under these laws, you are all under arrest.
The thing you wouldn't see Dredd do is the last couple of pages where we see the horrific state that the slavers keep some of their slaves in. And Hal goes full-on Vic Mackey from The Shield. And
you all saw it.
He nails him. He nails the guy. He's like, you all saw it. It was self-defense.
Self-defense.
What a page-turn finale.
My God, yeah. That reveal.
So I think this was definitely the strongest issue of Green Lantern so far. I liked the first issue a lot, but this one was really where, like, the art really kind of came into its own. Almost all the pages were fantastic.
It became epic all of a sudden.
Right, a little less cutesy alien dialogue, a little more epic space cop action, like real space cop action. We've already had so many space cop things. We've had him hunting down perps in issue 1. Right. We had him interrogating perps in issue 2. And this one we had a sting and a bust and a cop use of excessive force.
Yep.
Like, we're really quickly hitting all of the traditional cop show beats.
That cop use of excessive force, so I did not see that coming.
Something has to be going on there. Hal Jordan isn't just going to take out something in cold blood and be like, we're covering this up, right? There's something going on there. There has to be. There has to be. So, Green Lantern, I have to give this one a 9.
A 9?
Almost Perfect Comics.
All right. I'll give it an 8.
All right. So that is our comics for the week. And with that, we have a little bit of an announcement. So thank you for sticking through to the end of the show. This is the final LAAGCast.
Yeah.
We are not going away. We are going to be transitioning shortly into an individual reviews and uploads thing, the details of which are yet to be fully determined, but I think that it's going to be overall better content for everybody.
Yeah, easier to get to what you want.
We're definitely still going to try to have the new comic reviews every week, and hopefully be able to get them out a little faster under this new format. So keep an eye on the channel for details about that, and I just want to thank everybody for making this journey with us.
Yeah.
So
I hope you enjoy the new format.
Yeah, hopefully we see you there. All right, and with that, we're signing off. Thanks a lot, Sam.
Yeah, thank you too.